it took me some time to get to the place that you wanted me to be. I know it was never you. I just needed to work on me. But now I'm ready. I'm ready to love.
For you.
Okay, he better be good.
He's 6'5" and he look good just like me.
Woo! I'll drink to that. Stormy is single, and she reminded me that, and she reminded that to Kriston. I ain't like that.
Because I was ready to rant. I'm so sorry, guys. I was ready to rant. If you could read lips, you know what I was saying. I said, first and foremost, I want my apology. Okay? I want my apologies because Stormy came out and dropped what she said happened. Now, she never mentioned once that there was any flirting going on between herself and him. Now, she did admit that she shouldn't have asked that question about the brothers. But, you know, after that, there was none of that stuff that you guys were making all into a whole scenario, which I told y'all editing gone edit, okay? But y'all wanted to make me the villain. And I was trying to tell y'all that I wasn't the villain. But no, you had Sean come up here, tell me what you're not gonna do in my face, okay? All right? Y'all, we even got a fellow sister who doesn't usually even come up and tell me to my little face, you ain't gonna do that little face. You know what I mean? And I told y'all, this is not how it looks, but you didn't want to tell me that. So I'm waiting for the apology, guys. Okay? I'm waiting for you to put an apology in the chat. I'm waiting for the apology, guys. Okay? All right? So I'm going to read the statement that Stormy put up. I'll probably do a video tomorrow. We can go deeper into it. I won't go too deep. I just want to do a little read of what she put. Okay, and then you know, in the chat one by one, if you could all put an apology, that would be very helpful as well to, you know, just help us along the way of accountability that we're all trying to have here. You know, since y'all were holding me to the fire the other day with a Kiki thing. So let's just read what Stormy said, okay? And then we're gonna get my panelists on the show as well. Okay, this is what Stormy said. Okay, Stormy said we reshot Kirsten's exit 3 times. And her exit. Oh, listen, this is a second. Wait, this is a second. Oh, this is part 2. Hold on a minute now. I think this is a part 2. This is not. It's part 2. Wait, this is the first one. Hold on, guys. This is a part 2. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Hey, there is a part 2, baby. Let me just say. Hold on. Let me copy this and paste this. Hold on. I'm gonna put this in my little notes pad. Because that was not, that is not the note. Oh, she put a part 2, baby. I didn't even know there's a part 2, guys. I will read out part 1. I think it's somewhere here. Hold on. I must have missed it because she did reply here. Hold on, guys. My bad. I didn't know it was a part 2. Oh, I didn't know it was a part 2. I thought she did a part 1 and that was it. Hold on. Where you at? Where are you at? Because that's part 2. But where's part 1? Because she definitely hit it up. Oh my days. If not, I'll just read it because I actually copied and pasted it from here as well. So if not, I'll copy and paste it. Okay, it looks like I can't find it in time, so I don't want to waste much time. I will read it from my notes because I copied and pasted it. Okay, cool. Doesn't matter. Okay, I can't find it. Somewhere there. All right, so I'll read it from my notes because clearly my thing doesn't want to play well. So I'll read what it says. Okay, this is what it says. It says on her. It said this. I didn't even know why or who. Let me put. Hold on. Put a screen here. So we don't need that anymore because we ain't. My panelists are there. I'll bring you guys in a second. 2 seconds. Okay. So I'm gonna read it out because I don't know why I can't find it on the Facebook day. It's somewhere there, but I think I've just gone past it and I can't bother to scroll too much. So it says Stormy's Facebook response says, I didn't even know why or who I was there. And now the English is very bad, but don't worry about that. Okay. I didn't even know why or who I was there for until entering the door to the house. Ashley and I are cool, but not close friends. So it was awkward finding out why I was there. But we played along. I dressed like that because they said we were going to dinner, not a barbecue. I was all there for her and asked that man a lot of questions and then had a good 20-minute debrief after the shoot with her regarding why I thought he was not genuinely interested. Now that makes it even more interesting because after that, what we see with Ashley is when she's talking to Tamika, she's still angry at Storms. Okay, cool. Anyway, so she said obviously so she said I had a 20-minute debrief after the shoot with her regarding why I thought he was not genuinely interested. I had to leave immediately after filming because I was booked. I was saddened to see how this was twisted and then edited to make me look like this. I did ask if he had a brother because because his conversation about her lacked any type of interest. So I had to make convo. It was my fault for saying it, but there were several other things that I debriefed her on regarding his lack of genuine connection to her throughout the date. So I was trying to make small talk. I'm a grown, positive woman, and I'll take this lick because they edited all this to make it something it wasn't. I was never told how she supposedly felt until I was invited to the reunion months later and shown a clip 60 seconds before entering the reunion taping set. I would never do this to someone, okay? First and foremost, okay, old girl didn't even know, okay? She came in there, and that's why I said both of them look, I don't mean both of them, I said more Kriston than anybody. He looked disheveled. He was like, wait, what's going on? This is why I said to you when you said about the beautiful surprise, y'all wanted to jump on it like it was a flirting. And I was like, nah, the brother doesn't even know what's going on. He's confused. He got thrown into something he wasn't ready to be thrown into. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, production did what production do in that situation, right? And then she put a part 2, which I can put on the screen this time because I don't know where the part 1 was, but I can put Stormy's part 2 for you guys so we can read it together so you can actually see it because it's easier to read when you can see, right? All right, cool. So part 2, it looks like I've lost that as well. Baby, where's that on the screen, mate? Hey, we're having technical difficulties when I want to prove my innocence out here. All right, part 2. Here we go. So let's put this on the screen so you can see it. So part 2, I'm gonna make it bigger. Says I didn't even know. Oh no, that's part, wait, what the fuck? Oh, I found part 1. I cannot take this for Sheezy. I promise you, I cannot. That was part 1. Now I'm gonna have to read part 2. What is going on, bro? I'm having a nightmare. Anyway, listen, I'm gonna read it. Fair enough. Okay, I'm gonna read it. Sorry about that, guys. I'm having a mare. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna read part 2 to you guys. Part 2 says, she said we reshot Kirsten's exit 3 times, and her exit producer called her away from the table. Oh, I like when I'm right. I like when I'm right. But let me not go too early. Let me just go start. We reshot Kirsten's exit 3 times, and her exit producer called her away from the table. Laughing face. Behind us and left us at the table. Y'all are going to believe what you want, and that's okay. She and I sat in an enclosed space of a restaurant for 20 minutes, debriefing after the so-called exit scene. We were waiting for engineers, okay, to remove his mic and finish using the restroom before exiting. The only reason I'm even giving this any energy because I was very clear with the producers that I do not want to do this type of show, and they assured me it was not this type of show. Damn, baby. I mean, you're down bad. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You know, Ready to Love are kind of messy like that. I ain't gonna lie to you, baby. You know they're kind of messy. And that's how I show. I do not play when it comes to my brand and what I stand for as a woman in this industry. However, when you try to twist and go against my character for storylines, that's where I draw the line. People that try to distort your character intentionally is not a friend. This is my last time giving this any energy onto reunion, then everybody on blast. Ooh, baby. It's 3:20 a.m. on Sunday morning here in Perth, Australia, and I'm en route to airport heading to Adelaide on tour, baby. Okay? I don't even know if she does tour. Does she sing or something? I don't know. Does she sing? I'm not sure if she sings or whatever. But anyway, I think that's safe to say, okay, y'all were doing too much. And I told y'all were doing too much. You looked at the evidence and you literally looked past it. I showed you. It didn't make sense. I actually should have played tape you. And you were all calling me, you're doing too much. You're reaching. Is your arm hurting as you reach? Y'all told me all sorts of stuff. And I was trying to tell you, listen, guys, look at it again. I'm not a person that believes production. I'm not a person that backs production at all. But this was too edited. It was so blatantly obvious. When someone gets up from the table, y'all were making up themes. And he didn't even look at her. He didn't even crook his neck to look at her backside. Please. Okay, she got called by production. Production called her to round the corner. She went to corner to go have a conversation, and then she did a bad mouthing because she really should have just said this to Stormy in a sense anyway. And then had a debrief with Stormy. Now, I don't know what's gonna happen because I don't know what's gonna happen at for reunion because I don't know if Stormy has addressed the fact that Ashley said what she said after. So she said it at the restaurant as a voiceover, and I don't know if that's actually her. It could be a voiceover. That's why maybe they didn't show her face. It might not even be necessarily a voiceover from that scene. It might be from somewhere else, and they've plugged it into that scene. And also, secondly, she spoke about it with Tamika at least that she was annoyed and frustrated. So the only thing I would say about Stormy is that she didn't address the frustration that she saw with Ashley. So if you guys had a 20-minute debrief, I'm down with that. But you didn't address the fact that Ashley was vexed at you after. So even though you had a debrief, why does she get so vexed that when she goes to Tamika, she doesn't say, I'm cool? You know what I mean? So there's still something that wasn't necessarily addressed there. You know what I mean? And I have to be honest with that. Something wasn't necessarily addressed there. Okay? All right. So listen, we have 311 people in the room so far. Do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe. We will do it in depth. Tomorrow we'll do an in-depth live about it, but today we're going to focus on the rest of the show. But we ready to have some good conversation today. Okay, y'all had my number earlier on, but I knew I was going to have your number later on, and I love it. Okay, I love it. Let me do my best villain laugh. Okay, let's get into the show. All right, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate y'all. Stay locked and stay loaded. Let's get into the show. Let me bring my lovely colleagues on. I call my colleagues, but my stars on the show. Okay. Oh, loving the colors from everybody. Pop, 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 pop. Okay. I know it's going to be hot today. Okay. All right. I got Glenn. I got Jay. I got Seaway. Sean is going to be late like me, so he will turn up whenever he wants to because he is a star of the show, and I can't wait to say, you should have known. And so, we're going to get him when he comes in, okay? All right? But thank you again, for the ladies and gentlemen, to join us on the show today. We are talking about Ready to Love and the entire show. So Ashley, Zadia, Sharice, and Venetia as well. Let me tell you something. I watched Married 10 Years review. Y'all better never tell me that I'm hard on anybody because she be ripping people new assholes when she be telling her reviews. I mean, she be tearing them, okay? And it's true. I'm not saying she's wrong. She's true. She reeled it. I'm just saying y'all better never tell me I'm harsh because she was literally going at it. I mean, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, listen, let's get into some conversation. Let's get into the conversation. We're going to talk first and foremost about Sharice because I think we've talked about Ashley a little bit earlier on, so I want to go that. We'll leave Ashley to last, but let's talk about Sharice. Sharice had her date with Keith, and then LJ came over and he said, some things. He said, I'm not sure if that's going to work out because of lifestyle differences, and she likes to travel, and etc. etc. So I want to get your perspectives. I have to put your perspective so that you can tell me what you thought about the Sharice date as well. I'm gonna let Glenn go first because he is our honorable guest today, and it's good to have you as well. I need to get my background like yours, Captain. It's looking very smooth. I like it. Look like you're ready for court though. Tell us, Glenn, what's your thoughts on Sharice and her dating on this particular episode? What was your thoughts, Glenn?
Man, my thoughts on this one, man, with her and Keith, I think she didn't, LJ brought some valid points out, things that she didn't even know, about Keith. She was just happy that Keith was talking, right? Maurice didn't talk. She's just happy Keith could hold a conversation. And so she decided to choose Keith. But, just because the guy has only been to Dallas, Texas, what I wanted him to ask the question was, he said, I honed in on the word solo trip, right? He said, on my solo trip. But did he take his boys anywhere else for 25 years? Did he go somewhere else? Has he been out of country? Has he been in the military? He was just talking about the trip that he's gone on by himself, which was Dallas, Texas. But again, if you're in a relationship, there's some things that you guys can experience together, right? There's a trip that you can experience together. You can take him places that you've been, and now you give him a appetite for something that he may not have seen before. So if he's a real gentleman and he knows that you like that, then he may take you to Barbados. He may take you to Bermuda. He may take you to Belize. But you got to give the guy an opportunity and a chance to do so. But she try to count Keith's paper anyway. She wants to see how much money Keith is rocking with, and she doesn't want anybody to really treat her right or love her. I think she really wants somebody that can pamper her and give her stuff that she can buy for herself, because she says she's a baller and she don't want to bring her lifestyle down. So at least help him out. Sometimes you got to, in relationships, you got to be able to work with each other. Everybody don't have the same experiences and have the same things, so help him out. So that's my biggest thing with her, Sharice and Keith. I don't think it's just the fact that he talks more than Maurice is why she really liked to do. I don't think she's gonna keep him, but I think just the simple fact he talks.
I hear you on that. I like that, man. And yes, that situation about have you been anywhere was also a sticky point. I thought that was a good addition that you added there as well. Jay, what's your thoughts on Sharice and Keith, their dating situation?
I'm pretty much where Glenn is. I want to know more about his travel situation, because I did hone on to that key fact that he said it was his first solo trip, and it could have been first one in a while or whatnot. We don't know if it was family trips he was taking, friends trips or whatnot. Where had you been? That's the key question. And as somebody that likes to travel, having a partner that doesn't either like to travel or don't want to travel is also a problem, because if I want to do memories or if I want to have events where I want to be with a couple or something like that, can't really do it. I need to know if you're afraid of flights. Are you scared to take flights? Did he drive to Dallas? And those are important things. Do you have a passport? These are important things to know about it. So I would have wanted more questions, and hopefully those questions were asked of him. He does say he's a homebody, but hell, at least you're going to get some conversation out of him, because Maurice was not going to give you no conversation whether he in the home or he not in the home. So it doesn't really matter. But she say they talking still. So he got conversation. He want to take her out and show her the town all of a sudden. Everybody's still talking to people on the back end now that they done dismissed them. So that was kind of interesting to know about these ladies. But yeah, I like to see more. I kind of went to his page today. I found his page. So I was seeing old sugar daddy over here, Mr. Keith and stuff, do his thing or whatever. I mean, he at least works out. He keeps himself together and stuff like that. But from his page, he is pretty much, I do my jobs, get my work done, work out, and that's where I be. And that's not always a bad thing. I don't know if it's a Sharice thing, but I don't know. But like LJ said, a right woman can also motivate a man to do a lot of things. And if traveling is one of the things that may have been on his bucket list, but he never just had the time to do it, having a good person, a tour guide, somebody that's already equipped with going on trips, knowing how to book them and do all these things, they can get you out there. We know Elsie just took her man on his first trip, and he ready to go for more. So, you never know. You never know. Once you get that man going, he might be pushing you every week. When we go on the next one, when we doing the next one and stuff. So she might tire her out. We don't know. But I think she should try to give him another shot. However, she does have, what's his name? I'm going to say it because I'm going to think of his name off of East Bayou, because he reminded me of that man. That's the name off of there. But I can't remember the other date she had. Then you have him. So I don't know. I don't know what she's going to go with at this point and what she's going to choose between the two. But she had that nice dance date with that guy. I can't remember his name. I can't remember how to say it right now. But yeah, Mazel. Okay. Because that's off of East Bayou. Moselle was the lady's name. So Mazel. So she had the date with Mazel. Pretty nice date. I don't know. Something about him is throwing me a little bit off, but maybe it works for Sharice. Because I, like Dorica said, she just looking for pockets. So if your pockets is fat, she might have. Now, here's the odd thing for me. Sharice is my freaking birthday twin, and she had the nerves to call herself an honorary Leo. She done lost her daggone mind. She is a full-blown Leo, baby. On the 22nd of August, it's still all Leo, mama. I need you to understand that about us, okay? We are full all Leo, and I'm going to need you to get some act right and act like one, okay? You doing all this Virgo stuff. See, you're a cuss baby. You tapping into your Virgo side a little bit too much, sis. I need you to swing on back over to this Leo and get your picker right, okay?
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. C-Way, talk to me.
Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get this food. So Chandra said in the chat that he clarified on somebody's panel today that he has been places, but I don't think it's out of the country or anywhere interesting. Then Monique clarified that he does not have a passport. I don't know. You guys can fill in the blanks between the two because I'm confused. I almost forgot about him. I was more focused on who Jay was talking about. Mizell. He kind of gave us like Zaddy swag, the principal. I really liked him. I thought he was handsome. Too old for me. He's more like a father figure for me. But I think for Sharice, I liked him. He kind of had that, man of a particular age swag. I kind of liked him. As far as the one that we're talking about, I don't know. We didn't get enough of him for me to make a full-fledged judge of him in particular. So I'm just going to take it. We're going to zoom out because I just don't feel like I got enough of him to say what I think about actually him. But just the idea of a man that, is mixed match, like Jay was saying with traveling, is going to be kind of a red flag, and it's going to cause way more conflict than people realize. And then just in general, Sharice's value system, we've already hit on, is just very much so about the bag. So although I think she wants, what's the other guy, Maurice, to talk more, she's going to go back rocking with him before she deal with somebody with no bag. And I'm not going to judge it. That's just, I mean, look at the people they're matching her with. They're all men of a particular age, mostly with money. I don't know what happened with this guy, but mostly with money. So I can't put my opinion on her because I was never chasing a bag. So I can't really relate to that. I wasn't chasing brokies, but I wasn't chasing a bag. I'm a bag, so I'm not chasing a bag. You know what I'm saying?
I'm dumb as Seaway. She says
when
she's
you're
not
the bag.
The bag. When you're the bag, you don't chase the bag because you are the bag.
Are you really chasing the bag? I don't think so.
I'm not with it at all. I hear you.
You attract the bag. You're the bag. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how.
That's fair. I ain't mad at it. Glenn, I didn't ask you because obviously I said Keith specifically, but what was your thoughts on is it Mizell?
Yeah, Mizell. Mizell. I think something's wrong. I don't know if you guys caught when he said when they was talking about the dogs. He mentioned he has a service animal. His dog was a service animal, and I'm sitting here, okay. Were you ex in the military? Is it PTSD? Is it some mental issues? Is it something therapeutic? Is it something emotional? So when you said something was off, I caught that he said his dog was a service animal. So is there something going on with Mizell that maybe Sharice may not be able to handle? We haven't gotten that deep yet. We don't know if she's going to choose him or not. But I thought it was, he was a smooth guy, but I thought something was off too. And when we rewatched it, I caught the part when he said, my dog is a service animal. I'm like, okay, service animal means there's something going on with you that you have to have a service animal as a dog. I don't know what it is, but, just when you mentioned it, allegedly, Jay, that something was off. Something may be off that he's not telling, and Sharice may not be able to handle. So I thought it was a good date. I thought he had like you said, good swag, a dean of the school, so they can relate on that aspect of it. She may want to have kids later, but Sharice is Baltimore, so it's a whole different level. So, but it was okay.
Now I know for most parts, service animals are for particularly of service of either emotional, mental, or physical health. However, nowadays, when you want to travel with your dog, you better go ahead and see that might be a green light for Sharice. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why he asked her, do you like big dogs too? Because he's like, listen, when I do travel, I go with my dog. My dog goes with me. So I don't know. Maybe that's the reason he got it for a service dog, or he just wants that. He don't want to pay that renter's fee wherever he's staying. So, it could be a possibility, but something is a little off. And so we have to be on the lookout why your animal is a service animal for sure, Glenn.
Yeah, don't go off me. I just saw his salt and pepper, his little swag. I thought he was cool. I was halfway listening. I watched this episode twice and my not ADD really was just flaring. I just couldn't pay attention. So I'm going to go with y'all. I was struggling. And I watched it twice. So
No worries at all. No worries at all. I know you'll come good for Ashley. All right, cool. Let's move on from Sharice then. Let's move on from Sharice. Let's get on to Vern, Jabari, and Tabari. You know what? I thought his name was Tajon, but I realized because I was looking at the restaurant name. So when I saw the name come up, I saw Tajon. So I kept on calling Tajon. But I realized it's Tabari. It's not Tajon. So Vern, Tabari, and Jabari, their situation. We got Vern, we got Tabari, who seems to be an entrepreneur, all about his entrepreneurship, wanting to grow and be ambitious. He's about fun. He's a live wire. I liked his energy. And then we got Jabari, who just said, who was had to speak to Liz as well. And he said, listen, hey, I'm home by 9:10. I'm in bed. Not even I'm home. I'm in bed. 9:10 because I got work in the morning. Vern said she's in the streets till 12. Okay? All right? And it was at that point I realized, yeah, Vern ain't telling us the full truth. You in the streets till 12? And then she said something which really concerned me. She said, I'm a boss 24/7. I said, well, then baby, what you talking about? You're a boss 24/7? You can't come home and turn it off? I said, yeah, Vern, we know you're a boss 24/7. You can't turn it off. I know that she can't turn it off. She likes to boss people around, and that's just the reality of the situation. But maybe you saw things differently. Seaway, what's your thoughts? Vern, Jabari, give us your breakdown.
Jabari has to go. But Tabari, I liked him a lot. I thought he was nice looking. I liked his energy. Something about him I don't trust. He's giving very Ready to Love animated. And I think I figured out by now kind of what that means. He's doing a lot. I did like him though. He seemed very confident. I think his career paths and his ability to get income, I thought was really good. But my gut feeling that y'all know goes off with me sometimes. Something about him I just don't really trust. And I don't know, something rubbed me the wrong way. I think it was his pre-interview. I think if I really think about what rubbed me the wrong way was when he was saying on his pre-interview, I just want to have fun. I'm all about the fun. And he just kept on emphasizing fun. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know why he just had to keep emphasizing fun. I don't know. I always worry when men say that. I feel like you're coming on here to waste a woman's time, but I could be wrong. But other than that, I would still take a risk on him than Jabari. Jabari has to go. He is looking for, he's a 50-50 warrior. He's a 50-50 warrior with the head of household mentality. Like, he is the walking reason why people be annoyed today. How are you a 50-50 warrior, but you think you're head of household? And you want somebody to come home and beat you home, but you need my money? How do you need my money, but you want me to beat you home? Like, you shouldn't be worried about when I'm coming home if you need my money to match your money to make ends meet. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. And I think Vern sees that. And I thought Liz did a really good job. I think she did one of the best jobs of actually getting to the bottom of some of the issues and kind of highlighting on some of the things that Vern has struggled with in the past. And I thought Liz's questions really helped Vern get down to the bottom of maybe some of their incompatibility. And I think Jabari would do really good with someone who works like a 9 to 3, maybe not even a 9 to 5, a 9 to 3, and they can put their money together and they can pay the rent together. But I just don't think he would be comfortable in a relationship with Vern. And this may be too soon, but you cannot be with a man like Jabari and then be like Vern. It leads to a lot of issues and emasculation, and then men start acting crazy, and then we get situations that we done seen recently. So if you see a man just really ain't on your level, just let him go. Because he already holding on a little bit too tight, and he ain't even got no reins to hold on to. So that scares me when I see men you see her shining and you're just like, bring it down a little bit. Like, you should be trying to lift her up a little bit, like have her shine. So that's red flags for me, and I think he needs to go. respectfully. He's for somebody, just not Vern.
Go for it, Jay.
Let's see. Tabari first. Tabari. I'm kind of like a little bit with C-Ray where something was just throwing me off about him. And I don't know if it's because it's the 3 different professions that he got. I don't mind multiple incomes. I like multiple incomes, but it was just like, seemed like 3 totally different type of professions that he had going on. So I don't know if it was that or just something else, but I do like him. I like the swag he brought. I love the fact that he complimented Vern. Not many of them came in complimenting her and just speaking about her per se, you know. So I love that he did all of that. I liked his energy. I did notice that when he did ask her about what she likes to do for fun, because I see C-Way brought that up, she had no clue. So it's like, you're not in the house, you're not doing this, you're not in the house until midnight, you're not doing that, but you just want to have, anything is fun to you, anything is fun. So that gives me that you're most of the time is being an entrepreneur all the time. And that's not a problem, but you don't really have fun as much as you might want to. And I think that's what Vern is looking for, somebody that can actually bring some fun and joy and excitement to her life, but still be on her level. So when we switch over to Jabari, with him being in bed at 10 o'clock at night, that's just not going to work. She does hair. Okay, hair sometimes can go some hours. Us ladies already know, like different styles and all this stuff like that. I can be in there for hours. If there's events or something going on that night, I might have 10, 17, 18 clients that day. I don't know what the time frame is. It's no set time frame with an entrepreneur. And for dating one, it is very hard when you have a 9 to 5, because you have to have some stuff to keep yourself busy, to not be thinking about what they doing all the time while they're getting the money. And like C-Way say, if you want 50-50 and you need half of my money, let me go get it. Don't worry about what time I'm coming home. However, the contradictual side to it is Vern is saying that she wants to be a homemaker and all this stuff like that. So therefore, you kind of need to find a man that is on your lifestyle schedule, meaning that the home is 24/7, just like work is going to be 24/7. So that means that we on a schedule that when I come home, if I'm cooking dinner at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, we up eating dinner at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it can be done. She has to obviously do it for her kids. She's a mother, so she got to come home and cook for her kids. She got to come home and be with them, spend some time with them, because she still has them living in the house. I think her youngest is still in the house. I think she's 15. So she's still in that nurturing, mothering mode where she can make a home. However, you know what I'm saying? It's do I want to come home to you and you're going to be on some BS? Or do I come home to you going to be asleep? Are you going to... It's going to be a whole bunch of things. So, sir, sometimes you're going to have to stay up. If you got a 9 to 5, you can afford to stay up a little bit on her schedule too. You can't just be talking about, well, everybody knows I'm in the bed, and if she come in the house, it's going to be a problem because she making noise, this, that, and the third. Like, well, then y'all just not going to work. Stop trying to make somebody fit into your triangle when you're a square. Like, it's just not going to work that way. So just go find somebody that fits your lifestyle better, and let her go find somebody that fits her lifestyle a little bit better. And I think at this point right now, Tabari is that guy. You know, I'll need to know a little bit more about him, but we'll decide. I guess we'll figure that out if she chooses him over Jabari. But at least right now, the lifestyle that they have is lining up a little bit better for her, because he will understand today is a long day at work. I just want to come home, relax, take a shower, order some food, whatever the case. Tomorrow might be a shorter day, so I can cook you a meal. I can come home and I can cater to you a bit more or whatever and stuff. When you having your long days, it's going to be that vice versa. That's where the 50-50 comes in, is 50-50 of that compromise of loving you this much today and you loving me this much tomorrow. That's where that's the 50-50 that needs to be happening between the two parties. And so I think that at this point right now that she had a good go with Jabari. He was the top of the candidates that she had in the past. But I think at this point right now, his time is up. So we'll see what she decides next week, though.
Thank you, Jay. Good points. Glenn.
Yeah, I kind of agree with the ladies on this one. Tabari, his 3 jobs, right? He's real estate. He runs a restaurant, and he's in the radio. Those kind of all three, it just takes a lot of time itself, right? It takes a lot of time. So how he managed and juggle all that, and he's still looking for love on that aspect, on that end of it. With him, I think he said something like he had to switch his different persona on just to get into the movie. So, well, she's beautiful. Let me switch myself up a little bit. Like he changes. He went into his phone booth and came out Superman, right, when she came in there. So I have a little hesitation with him. But the date was fun. He made her laugh. She enjoyed it. He did compliment her. I thought that was great for her to see somebody complimenting her instead of saying she was like the home girl, the ground away girl, things like that. I thought that was cool. When it comes to Jabari has a mold that he's not willing to break. He has a set thing that he wants, and Vern is not it, right? Someone said in the comment that she in the streets. Well, she promotes parties, right? She does different things. She's down in Houston and doing things. So it's not just the salon. She has multiple businesses. But, allegedly Jay said it, there's some women, I know women in my house that sometimes they're at the hair salon like till 10, 11 o'clock at night, right? Because that's the way that it fell in or whatever they're getting done to their hair. So it's a process. To have somebody come in 9 and 5, those days are like pretty much over, right? Pretty much over. It's like you want her to work your hours, but you still want the bag, right? You want her to do this. That's not her routine. That's not her schedule. And then we're not even getting to the fact that if they do get together, who's moving where, right? So you talking about her coming to a new city and to be into your spot, to be in your place, or you going to Houston? Because if you go to her Houston, her routine is never going to change, right? We talked about her kids. We talked about family. We talked about things that she's accustomed to. It's never going to change. So to me, he seems kind of I don't want to use the word controlling. I want to put it on it, but it's like he's very set in the mold, the way he wants Vern to do things. And I thought Liz did do a great job of asking the questions that I think Vern was overlooking at the time. And I think Vern's biggest thing is, I don't want to get set on one guy and the same guy over and over again, because I'm committed to that one good guy. And I like the fact that they are giving her different options. And so she has an option that she won. I think Tabari at this point in time is a better option than Jabari. But we've seen what Jabari is. He's not going to, in my opinion, not going to make that change or make that switch to kind of even, I don't even say change. She's not willing to compromise with her lifestyle, right? With the way that she handles business, the way that she does things. I think when they was on that, one of the days, she said she's willing to cook and do different things like that, but he has to do it on her schedule. And they have to meet somewhere in the middle if they ever continue to stay together. So I think Vern has options. I think Tabari right now is the best option. Jabari, we tried that 3-4. I think it's their 5th date or 4th date that they've been on. We think we tried that. It's not working out, right? It's not working out. He's the jealous type, which know what the show is all about, but don't want to see her go out with anybody. I didn't understand that neither, right? You're on this show knowing that she's going to go on different dates, but you have a problem with her going on different dates with somebody else. Is that a little bit insecurity? Is that the fact that she's going to find somebody better? Or is that you're too much invested into what she has, that you're not willing to just let her find her own course? So, in my opinion, Tabari's the guy right now. Vern needs to move on and take Liz's advice. When Liz told her, like, he can't keep up with you. He can't handle you. And he can't keep up. I mean, she's fast. She's moving fast paced. Her mind's thinking a million miles a minute. And he can't keep up with her. And what happens is this: jealousy will set in. She keep bringing a bag in. She keep getting appearances. She keep doing this and the other. And he's home by himself. Or she's, jealousy will set in. Insecurities will set in. And he find himself in a bad situation looking at her like, what do you think you're doing? You're getting everybody's attention, getting everybody else time except for me. And that's why I can see him going down that road. So I think it's time for Jabari to go and Tabari for us to learn more about him and see where that one goes.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no, listen, first and foremost, I think Jabari wasn't the one for Vern, and I think any of them are necessarily doing anything wrong. It's just that both of them have different lifestyles, and it's going to be a problem. It doesn't seem like it's going to complement. He's a 9-to-5. He wants to be at home, and he wants to be with somebody who he can be at home with and who he can be head of the household with. That's not going to be Vern. I'm telling you that now. First and foremost, she ain't going to be home. And number 2, she already told you she's a boss 24/7. So she ain't going to let you win and you ain't going to rule her. So that's out the window. So they're not going to work in that instance. I think with Tabari, I liked his energy. I wonder if she will see a different light when she ends up trying to date Tabari, if he gets that chance, and seeing how his lifestyle would be difficult also to fit her in because of time as well, that will need to be managed effectively. So that's also another conversation that they'll probably have if they get to continue their journey per se as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see personally on that respect. Okay, cool. Let's move on to then Zadia and Cameron and Camille, because boy, oh girl, I felt like that our good sis Camille was calling Zadia out a little bit by saying, you drank from the same cup, and basically also calling out saying that, well, you guys have probably done more than kissing. Basically, she was actually trying to admit. Yeah, we all kind of knew that already. But what's your thoughts, guys? Zadia, Camille, Cameron, what's your thoughts on their situation? Because they had a date. Camille obviously, was letting him know that, she wants more time with him, which is really interesting because, the amount of jobs that he does, and then you want him to have more time, and it's like, yeah, but Zadia's gonna be busy too. She at this rate, wanting more time, I think that's both of them. That's a luxury that both of them can't really necessarily afford because they're both busy, ambitious people. So I don't know if that was a killing point to Camille per se, but she said it was. So hey ho, we have to move in it. What's your thoughts on Zadia, Cameron, and Camille, guys? What's your thoughts on this particular date? I haven't had Jay go first, but maybe I should let Jay go first because see when Glenn have gone first before. Jay was like, damn. Wait, everyone else has said.
Okay, baby, Camille gonna Camille. That's what it is. All right. Camille is like one of them friends or one of them big sisters that just don't like nobody for you, So, and she don't want her friend to move. Point blank, period. I just don't. My thing is like, Zadia is from the South already. So to pretend like she can't live in the South and she's not going to make it in the South. And granted, yes, the humidity in New Orleans is a little bit different from Atlanta's. Okay. However, to make it seem like she just can't make it in the South is just far-fetched. She can make it down there or whatnot. Camille just don't want her friend to go nowhere. And possibly she wants something else for her friend. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe Camille just needs to go ahead and tell her what type of man that she feels like Zadia needs to be with. But like at the end of the day, she said Zadia gonna do what Zadia gonna do. Her opinion is very minute in Zadia's mind, so that's what it is. It's not gonna affect her either way. She knows that Camille is sometimes right about it because she said one particular person she was right about for sure. But usually our friends are right about one particular person. They get that thing or whatever, but everybody else is hit or miss. We here. I don't know why is everybody pressed with Zadia's cooch. Let Zadia do what she want to do. If she want to throw that thing all around New Orleans, let her throw that thing all around New Orleans. Okay, drop it like it's hot, mama. Do you, boo? It's okay. It's hers. If she's sipping on cups with people because they've been locking lips the night before, let them do them. All right. We know that they weren't up all night just talking to the sunlight. He a good looking man with some dimples and some nice lips. Okay, if they share a kiss or two, they can drink the coffee. He took the lid off the top anyway. So I don't even understand what the problem is. Now, if he backwash, that's a whole different story, okay? And I'll be backwashing him with coffee. But everybody that's a grown woman. Them two grown people, let them do grown people things if they want to do grown people things. Everybody, Sharice, Camille, y'all leave that woman alone. She want to scratch a little itch down in Orla, let her scratch that itch. All right? It's hot down there. Get hot and bothered. Let her do it. But she gonna stick by Cam because what's her other date? Okay, first of all, who is picking these people? Who the heck is picking these people? Because I'm getting sick and tired of these people that's really unmatched for these people. All right. These dates that came along. Dylan is a sweet boy. Dylan is a sweet boy. All right. But he is very green. He is very, very green. And he is not, like he said, this is the first blind date. This seems almost like the first date ever. Really. Okay. And so it was just not going to work for Zadia's personality. She is just too strong for that young man. All right. I don't know who keep matching these people with people, but if y'all want her to get off of Cameron, please bring her a suitable candidate to give Cameron a run for his money, because right now y'all not doing that for her. And so she gonna be locked in where she been, and that's where she's at. And I don't see her going nowhere. Like she said, every time a date come around, I'm comparing them to Cameron. So please give her somebody that is going to make her not think about Cameron for a second, so she can really evaluate if she's making a proper decision with this man or not. Because that's what she really needs. She don't need Camille coming down and saying nothing. She don't need nobody else saying nothing. She needs a suitable candidate for her to make a good analysis on which man should I be going forth with. So whoever is doing it, because I know it ain't the little lady that they pretending to be a matchmaker. Production, please get some people up on here, because this week's this week's candidate, no. And when we get to the one they brought for Ashley, I'm gonna really be hot, okay? But no, I'll leave it there.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Good splitting points. I like it. Glenn, talk to us.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up where Jay left off, because Dylan / Chris, whatever his name was not the guy, right? Was not the dude. He couldn't handle Zadia. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, this dude is not gonna handle fourth graders. this dude is not gonna handle. If he can't even have a complete sentence with Zadia, how can you handle about 30 fourth graders in your class, right? As a first year teacher, been there, done that. You're gonna have to have a little bit more backbone, a little bit more bass, a little bit more assertiveness. And I agree with you, Jay. They gave her just somebody that was on the casting call. Okay, you two, come on. We need somebody else for Zadia. Who's up next on the list, right? And so that's how he came in. He's not the guy. He wasn't never going to be the guy. She enjoyed the conversation, the free meal, but she knew when she walked in that place and saw him, like, Dylan is not the person. He's not the guy. Back to Camille. I thought Camille questions were great to ask, because if it is called Ready to Love, making a move, that moving question needs to come into place, right? That question needs to be asked. Are you willing to move to New Orleans, right? He already answered, I'm not moving up north. It's too cold. Well, look, Nebraska cold is different from DC cold. It's a difference. You in the middle of America, and is a totally different cold. Well, you don't want to be around snow. Okay, cool. You down in the South. So the question is, where's this relationship going? If you ain't willing to compromise, she ain't willing to compromise. She got some stuff going on in DC. You're not moving for a little bit of relationship, right? You moving for the serious thing. If it's going to be that part, he's not ready. She has to understand, or Camille's trying to get her to see, like, you're just here going. You have to pick somebody, right? And you right now you latched on to Cameron. She was latched on last week to Ramon. She wanted to see what Ramon was talking about, and now she's to Cameron. Cameron, as Jay said, they have to be somebody else that's better than Cameron for her. They're not gonna have time with each other. The things that she's doing, the things that he's doing. And when he says he's a doctor, he's the pharmacist. He's a pharmacist. So he has some free time to do some other things. And what he said, I want a year or two so I can just chill and relax, or a year or two so I can get myself together. And so then so I can give more time to her. Who's going to wait a year for you to give more time to her? Well, what is she going to be doing in New Orleans? What is she going to be doing? Are you going to be traveling back and forth so she can have that time? Camille, even with the cup situation, she know her girl out there living wild. She know what her girl is doing. Zadia tried to hit us in an earlier episode. I've been celibate since June 22nd. When did they film this? Right, June 22nd, June 2nd of 2022. Like, I'm trying to look when did they film this? Right, like how long that's gonna be? Right. So the first guy you saw, you was ready to jump on. But again, nobody believed that you. If you did, you did. Right, you grown. You out. If you out all night with this guy, you out all night with this guy. But Cameron is to me is not the guy. I think Camille came with her antics and her facial expressions and trying to help Zadia out. But Zadia's not going to listen. Zadia is going to do what Zadia wants to do, when Zadia wants to do it, how Zadia wants to do it. And nobody, Camille, anybody else they would have brought in there, it would still be the same way. Zadia's going to do Zadia. And it's just going to be that, right? I know what the show is, but she's going to do her. She's not going to listen. Even when Camille was giving advice at the end when they was sitting on the couch talking to, I think, Dr. Tamika, she was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Good. Cameron right now got her nose wide open, and so she's gonna keep going, as Jay said, till somebody else comes better. And when the next person comes, he might be there, and she'll be her nose will be open for him. But we'll see. But it's not gonna work out. And like I said, poor Dylan got thrown into the fire. He had no business being at that table whatsoever. None. And she wouldn't like him anyway, so no point.
Appreciate it, Glenn. Thank you much. Seaway, tell us your thoughts. We talking that talk.
Yeah, I think two things can be true at the same time. I definitely feel like Camille doesn't want her friend to move, right? And that kind of colored her advice or her feelings. But I also feel like she's seen something in Cameron that I just feel like she's seeing kind of his, I don't want to say selfishness, but I feel like he's very focused on him. And knowing Zadia's personality from what we're able to see, I think she's going to need somebody who's going to be kind of focused on her to a degree. And I think Camille's kind of highlighting that he's not only is he not willing to move, right? Because I get it. That wasn't the premise of the show. He may not be willing to compromise a lot of his businesses and things like that to make time for her. So I don't think she's necessarily wrong about that. So we'll see. I won't talk about the young man. The young man was adorable, but not ready for prime time. So what are we going to do?
Okay.
I hear you, Seaway. Go for it, Jay. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Because Phil, oh my gosh, you've been killing me today.
Yeah. Go ahead and address him. Go ahead. I got your question.
I'm not saying that I know that he's selfish or not. So let me just take that back. And I did back it up after I said it. I said selfish, and I said, okay, not selfish, but focused on his life. Which, when you're focused on you, you are being naturally selfish, not in a negative way, but that is the season that you're in. He seems like he's in a very me season, right? He seems like he's in the building season of what he's trying to establish as a man. And that's not bad. It's not a bad thing, but sometimes that does not coincide with being all for another person. And he seems very hyper-focused on getting the business, getting the stuff up and running. Yep, grinding. That seems like what type of time he's on. I'm not sure if that's going to work with a long distance relationship, or if he would be willing to sacrifice in any way to kind of move for Zadia. So somebody's going to have to make a sacrifice.
Okay, so here's my question. Because Zadia said earlier she kind of wants a softer life. She wants the soft life. So this man says, give me a year. I'm working out some things. Give me a year so I can make all the time I need for you, but my money is still rolling in. I'm trying to understand where's the problem in waiting for that year if you want this soft life, because this is Camille saying that he's not going to give her enough time, but she wants soft life. A man that's giving you soft life doesn't necessarily always have time for you like that, because he's busy working and doing all the things to provide for your soft life. So I'm trying to figure out where's the middle ground for this. Who's actually right in this situation? Is Camille right because she knows her friend and saying that this person, you deep down inside, you really, really want time? Or is Zadia right for saying, I want soft life and I could sacrifice not having the time for it? That's where I'm at right now. I'm just trying to figure out where are we going with a lot of things that we saying on this show right now.
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think Zadia is speaking out of both sides of the neck, because she also said in that statement, I want my own money, right? Most times when you having a soft life, the dude is taking care of you. He's taking your income is his income. You're based off what he's giving, right? So how can you have your own if he's providing? Which means if he ever bumps his head, he ever mess up, one of the businesses shut down, that lifestyle that you're living is kind of changing up a little bit. So again, and then she can't wait a year because she's very independent. She can't sit there and wait a year for him to get himself together. Now, the long distance relationship, that's going to be hard because he's trying to get all this stuff together. How does he have time to travel to DC? How does he have time to travel up and give her what she's looking for? They want things. She needs to take the advice of Camille. Again, I agree with both of you guys. Camille doesn't want to lose her friend, but at the same time, Zadia doesn't want to move down there. She likes the appearance of Cameron. She likes the fact that Cameron is a guy that she can have a conversation with, but I don't think she wants to be serious. I think Cameron is about that bag. And he also said he's a nerd too, so he's about the different things, different walks of life that she has. So he's about the photography and the being a pharmacist and about doing the other things that he's into, which I didn't think those things Zadia was involved in. I think they're kind of different in that aspect. I think she just likes the company, not really what he's involved in from that aspect of it.
Well, that photography and what she's involved in works together. She's involved in fitness. He's a photographer. That's an equal business deal right there. That's a future waiting to happen together right there. What is the word that where you was pressed on when she called herself a modern
traditional millennial or something?
A traditional millennial, this thing where she's still being able to work but have the soft life,
right,
or whatnot. I just look at it like, to me personally, I feel like a year is not that long, and a year of long distance is not that hard to get by. It goes by kind of fast because if you both are hustling and grinding and paying attention to your own focus, time goes by fast, and within that time, y'all building up the anticipation. Y'all get to have the more conversations over the phone. Y'all get to actually get to know each other and stuff. What's going to be lacking is the in-person getting to know each other. And I'm not just talking about physically in that sense, but I'm saying sometimes that energy that you have when you're around a person is a lot different from when you're just on the phone with them. And so that would be lacking a lot. And my only fear is that if you're not both being honest during that time apart, that's where the problem is going to lie mostly. But however, I don't see where it's the problem of giving him that year that he needs to possibly make a transition, and then you both finding a neutral place to stay. And Camille is just going to have to realize that her friendship is going to have to be long distance at some point. That's just what it is. That's why I feel like if this is the person that you really like, a year is not that long to sit there, get to know each other, work it out. Y'all talk about future, get to a space of having a future and find a common ground on where you want to live. That's neutral for everybody.
I don't think what he's asking for is extreme. But if they want to work together, they have to work together. A year to continue to figure things out as they grow together and build together is not a hard thing. But he has to be willing. I don't know if he would be willing to even move out of New Orleans. He said he really likes New Orleans. So, I mean, who's to say he's even willing to move to a different city and vice versa? I think if Cam lived in DC, this would be a more realistic conversation. I think they could overcome some of the issues. But this whole city thing where they're both kind of at two ends of the spectrum with that's where I see the problem. It's not even a year thing. It could be 6 months. It could be 4 months. If they can't figure out where they want to live, I mean, what are they going to do? So that's where I see the problem.
Any other thoughts, Glenn?
Nah, she got a good point. I mean, I just think they don't agree on a lot of things. I think the relationships kind of, to me, seem like it's superficial. Like it's not. I think he may be more involved in the relationship than her. I think she's just there. And the next guy that comes by, who may be better than Cam, she's gone. I don't think she's really invested. I think if it wasn't a TV show, she wouldn't stop twice and talk to Cam.
Appreciate it. All right, cool. Beautiful stuff. All right, let's shift it then. Well, we've got the last aspect then. We got the the Ash conversation, Ash, Stormy, and Ash, Stormy, and what's his name? Kriston. I'm probably going to spell his name wrong. Kirsten, even. It should be spelled. Yes, Siwe.
Kojo, can you explain before we get started I didn't understand how any of Stormy's tea that you read changed what happened. Can you just like break it down to me like I'm slow? How did what you read and what Stormy put on Facebook or wherever it was, or Instagram, change the issue from the scene? I just didn't understand. I don't even want to jump off the window with my opinion. I'm just trying to understand
what's your issue. First, what's your issue? Because you weren't here early in the earlier live. So what's your issue first? That would have to be addressed.
I have two issues. And now I know that they weren't really friends, but regardless, right? I mean, them not being friends kind of eases it a little bit. But I didn't care about the attire, so that was out the window. It was just the fact that they were being scandalous at the table. I never even got into the fact that they didn't get up, or he didn't get up to chase her. It was just the fact that their whole exchange was, to me, was very disrespectful. So that was my issue.
Well, I mean, going by what Stormy said, I think as she explained, that was a part of the conversation, which was of a broader, much longer conversation where there was other things that were addressed. I kind of had a feeling there was more things that were addressed. There's no way I would have seen that Stormy would have come on and not asked him questions and left at that. And I felt like it was a very heavily edited scene. So I felt like we've been had a little bit on the scene, right? I'm not saying that there wasn't any flirting. I already admitted I think Stormy flirted, and I was joking around saying that he didn't flirt. I saw a little bit of. Let me not even say flirt. I want to say there was an obliging. I want to say there was a little bit of accepting of her behavior, right? There was no shutdown, in a sense, right? And maybe a little comment here or there too, which can be interpreted if you take it that way. I took it as a person who's been a little bit more charming than actually necessarily flirting. And that's a very thin line, right? And I think the line gets crossed because we see how Ashley behaves, right? And we see that Ashley got up from the table. So that's what kind of sends it over the edge, for a lot of people. In my honest opinion was that this scene, right? Yes, Stormy asked a question about the brother. I thought that was a little bit too far. I didn't need to be asked per se. But after that, really and truly, there wasn't much going on. It was just honestly, when I look back at it even again, I go, really and truly, it's just a nice conversation. There's a little bit of niceties that are going on, but the flirting part is because everybody sees how Ashley's behaving, and then they interpret her feelings onto the scene. And it's like, well, first of all, Ashley still said something, because if you felt that type of way, like it's gone on too far, grab your girl and have a conversation. And I just felt like, I didn't feel like Too Tough he was really flirting. I think he was more obliging and more just kind of enjoying the conversation. And it just didn't have Ashley involved, again, once more. And so I felt like what she addressed made sense. They weren't friends before. She had no clue what they were coming in there for. And that's why that's why it's so odd as well. And she never got up and got annoyed at that scene. So that's why I said about the voiceovers. They kind of create a perspective straight away, and the voiceovers are from after it's happened. And it's like I wish that Ashley would have said something in the time if there was something that she felt like there was an issue. Because as far as I'm concerned, I didn't really see too. I'm looking back and I'm going, I feel even stronger than before. I ain't not really in that. They ain't not in that. You need to be like, if I don't like this interaction, say to Stormy. I'm looking back and I'm going, I don't think there's really much in that. Man asked about her Chardonnay and people were like, he's flirting. I asked you what was your drinking, and that's flirting. Come on, guys. Come on. I think we might be reading a bit too much into it. Go on, Seaway.
I thought that was extremely disrespectful. I don't care at what point in time that scene was plopped in. There was no editing of the fact that this man says, "What a beautiful surprise." And then looking at her with googly eyes, and she smiling back. And then she over here trying to find a brother that looked like him. Ooh, he got to look like you. Oh, yeah, he looked like me. All this back and forth. Like, it was just like, I remember how I felt about it in real time. Like, before even she got up from the table, I was sitting there and I felt so uncomfortable. Like I wanted to climb under like my little couch because I was just like, why are they conducting themselves like this? Like this is so like bizarre. So for me, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it because to me it was so obvious. I mean, it was clear flirting, and I don't know how Stormi can explain herself for that. I mean, I guess she didn't. She said she did say some things, or she did ask about the brother and she shouldn't have. I don't care if they had dead silence for 20 minutes. I don't care if I found out 2 minutes before I go on there that I'm going to vet for this person. If I come on the scene and I just met Glenn today and I'm going to vet somebody for Glenn, I'm not going to make the scene about me. I don't care if I just met Glenn today. That's not me. I am coming as a support. So why am I over here trying to find a man for me? Like, I don't know. It's just unacceptable. I don't think she needs to know Ashley, be friends with Ashley about that. But off of her, dude is a clown. He's a super duck. He is a super duck, and she was right about him from the beginning, and that is evident. I feel better that, you know, that wasn't her friend, but he clearly doesn't want Ashley, and now we all know. So I hope she's free. You know, she's free. Should Ashley have said something? I don't know. I don't quite know how I would handle that situation if I was put in that predicament.
So you would have sat there and been silent while you're saying it's so disrespectful, but you would have sat there and been silent while the person's being blatantly disrespectful in front of your face, and you're just going to be silent and sit there and then expect people to understand where you're coming from. We need to stop making her a victim. You can't sit there and by the way, when you watch it, you only see her do this and this. That's about it. And then people start interpreting, look how sad she looks. She didn't look sad. It's her voiceovers that you're listening to that you're now interpreting on the scene. Watch it again. She doesn't actually look sad. And this is why I said that you will not interpret that if you look at the scene and you're actually there, because she actually masks how she feels. And instead of actually just saying it, hey guys, I'm a third wheel here. Hey, I'm the one that's here. Nothing gets said. So actually what she does, she actually starts playing a role in that moment. And do you know how I know that? Because I used to do the exact same thing. It's what we do, passive aggressive movements. And what happens is you blow up after, right? So you're like, and so then your person's like, I didn't even know this was happening. Yeah, you don't know because I was like, and then after I go, what the hell was that? What were you doing over there? Da-da-da. It's passive aggressive. No one's going to know. So she played a beautiful role. She didn't let them know what was happening, right? And she played the role beautifully and then waited. She got to the end and then she starts saying what she's saying. So nobody knows. That's why I said nobody responding to her, because nobody knows.
I got that, right? So I don't like passive aggressive people. As you know, I'm about the antithesis of passive aggressive. But what I've also learned is that through my life is that I cannot make people respond to conflict the way I do, because I have bumped into heads with a lot of people because I demand that they respond to conflict straight up the way I do. And what I realize is that's not going to happen. Should they? Yes. But in this particular situation, I don't believe that those two grown people needed Ashley to speak up about this being wrong. To me, this was obviously wrong. There are certain things where it's like, you know what, Kojo, if I offended you and you didn't tell me, I would have never known. So don't come to me with the BS 30 days from now talking about I upset you when I would have never known. This is not that situation. I don't need nobody to tell me that I am not supposed to be flirting with the man I'm supposed to be evaluating. I don't need nobody to tell me that I shouldn't be flirting with the friend of the person I'm supposed to be dating. Like, why does Ashley need to say something for them to be wrong? I just can't put that on Ashley. Ashley has done a lot this season. But in this particular one, they were just dead wrong to me. And nothing that Stormi said, to be clears that up.
Okay. Coming from a family of people, not just the men, people who are naturally talkers, charmers, Southern hospitality type people. Our conversation a lot of times is taken as flirting. Jamaica, you know the story, Seaway. You know the story of the situation in Jamaica. Not once was that person flirting. Not once was that person doing anything out of it, but their partner assumed everything was a flirt because of insecurities. If that person had a voiceover, we'd be all saying that other person was out here flirting and doing the most because they was being themselves. She met this man talking, and I know the chat about to hate me right now, but she met this man talking to her. That's what attracted him to her. When he got with Zadia, he got silent. That was probably flirting in that moment for him. But he's been talking. And I've been in situations where I've dealt with men that are natural charmers and stuff like that. And when I was in my insecure phase, it's you flirting with everybody. You staying up in somebody's face. You doing all of this. But when I actually got to know that person, I realized that's not it. You just talk. That's what you do. Sometimes I just be talking. Sometimes it is flirting. It is not. But this case, there was some. I'm not going to deny it. There was some, especially coming from Stormy's end. It was a lot more from her end. But this man came in, addressed Ashley first, and then sat there in confusement, like what is happening right now. And if y'all watch where the voiceover part is, if Coach will play that part back, where the voiceover part, they both were sitting there in silence and looking around. They had no more conversation going on. He was sitting here looking around in confusement at everybody that walked past. Stormy proceeded to finish eating her food. Had she not gotten up in her emotions, she would have actually seen that regardless if Stormy is flirting or not, Stormy is doing her a favor of actually showing her the type of man that she got is not the one that she wants. She wants a man that's all about her. Were you saying that she was right about that man? She wasn't right because she picked that man. She let the man that didn't call her, that was more about her, go. And she picked the man that she was arguing with over Zadia. So who has the bigger fault in this is Ashley for not picking up on her own signs, picking this man, not sitting there saying something to your friend. Girl, it's about me right now. We don't need to be asking about his brother. We don't need to ask him about this. Let's stick to the plan. Friend or not, I came and gave you a mission. This is the mission. Read off script, please. Stay on script, please. Excuse me, I'm going to the bathroom. Friend, come with me. Whatever the case may be. I'm redirecting my friend because my friend is supposed to be doing me a job. Or whoever is here for me, they're supposed to be doing me a job. But in that job that is being seen right there, regardless if that person not doing it or not, you wear your dress. Wear your dress, girl. Because I want to see how he responds to you in this dress. This is letting me know. Everything right now is letting me know if this is the man for me. So instead of getting up and running off and being all emotional, take that out right now. We thinking of logic. We ain't even at this point where we just slept with this man. We have nothing to hold us to this man. Nothing. So this is the best time to be vetting him all the way out to see what he got going on. I ain't lose nothing in this stake. So please flirt away. So let me see what he got going on. Do you? Let me see how he responds to a woman, a good looking woman flirt. And this is what Ashley's true problem is. And I don't want to feel like I'm just coming down on Ashley all the time, but her true problem is last week she was saying all these is beautiful women. It doesn't matter which person who got what and stuff like that. She pretends to be confident in front of women. If you're going to have that same insecurity where you could pull the men aside and say, hey, you ain't calling me, you ain't doing this. You could tap this girl and say, hey, you doing too much. This is me. Slow down. Because she was all rah-rah in his face about Zadia and still chose the man. If I got to be rah-rah with you about some woman, go be with that woman. I'm not about to choose you because you already showed me already that you're not for me. And this is before we even lay down together. Come on now. I'm not about to do that. So yeah, it can be disrespectful on them too, but there's still lessons there in that whole situation that Ashley need to pick up on. And regardless of the fact, that's not my friend. Ashley know this not her friend. So what I expect from you? To do what you gonna do and let me know if this Negro is good either way. Be disrespectful. Be all in his face. Flirt all you want. Let me see how he handle it. That's what she needed to do. Not go run to producers, be sitting there talking about, hey, this is not how this is supposed to be going. This is supposed to be about me. It is still about you, sis. It's all about you. Remember, you got the power. So pay attention to what he's doing right now in this moment so you can execute your power accordingly. Bye. I shouldn't have kept you in the first place. Okay, goodbye. Now you're free to go be the brother for her. So it's like sometimes we got to watch how we actually looking at things or whatever and stuff like that, because we actually can see this, even in the downside, there's some benefits to it. It might not look good on the surface or whatnot, but it was some benefits for Ashley in that moment to let her know that this dude wasn't the one she picked. And I think that's really where her biggest venom is coming from. It's easy to point it at Ashley or what's his name, Kriston. It's easy to point it at them other than self. But her real issue is I picked him. I did it again. I picked the wrong man again. But instead of sitting down with Ashley and say, damn it, what am I doing wrong? I'd rather sit there and say, Stormy ran off with my man, who is not my man. My man is out here flirting with all these women. That's not my man. Instead of saying, I picked the wrong person. Sometimes we just got to look at ourselves and be like, okay, you know what? My friend did me a favor. My ex-friend, my enemy, whatever you want to call her, they did me a favor. Appreciate you. Now I X you both out my life. Bye.
Can all things be true at the same time, though? Can't Ashley have picked a wrong man and Stormy still have a Jezebel spirit?
But that's what I said. And at the end of it, you X them all.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm saying this particular instance, most of my beef in this instance was how they treated her. But the fact that she's even in this situation, it's still on Ashley, and there's still more to learn, you know. That's all I'm saying. I mean, the girl in me got really offended by what she did, and that was what I focused on. but what Ashley's picker problem, and even being in the situation where she was running after this man to begin with, we done talked at length about that, you know. And I do think that it's a blessing in disguise that all that needed to happen was to come in with a dress with a slit and to flirt with you a little bit. That's all he needed. If that's all he needed to be gone, then he was never there. And that's a blessing for everybody that we all figured that out. But to me, yes, I said Jezebel spirit, and I'm not taking it back. I think what she did was whack. I would never do that, not even to a stranger. I would never do that. And if y'all think that's okay, that's on y'all. I would never do that. I would never come in and flirt with even a stranger's man in their face. That's whack. That's whack. If that's how y'all get down like that. I don't like it. That pissed me off. And I think that was whack. And whatever she says on her Facebook about this and that, I don't care. I don't care. And it's not about the dress that she wore. It's about that she's flirting with somebody else's date. I don't care that wasn't her man.
Child, is the fact they sitting there saying we want to make it a think piece, and that why Stormy's still single. Stormy ain't on the show. We don't give a damn why she's single.
I don't care.
This is probably why she's single. This is probably why she's single.
Don't stay single. You don't move like that. You don't move like that. Moving like that, I don't care. There's no amount of, now Kojo may be right. The voiceovers may be making us think, because the power production is very sneaky. The voiceovers may be making us think that she was sadder than she was. In reality, she could have came home. Don't tell me to calm down. You'll be blocked before I calm down. That's how you get blocked. Then I'll be real calm and you'll be somewhere else not watching us. So throwing me off. I shouldn't be reading these comments. But sometimes when you're actually like, when you think back, she could have been mad later and actually not mad then. And we know that Ready to Love literally plays a lot of games. So I agree with Kojo that we can't get too much into the minutia of like why they didn't follow her out to the table and what she said to production. Like that's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope, and we can't really trust fully what Ready to Love is doing. So I agree. We've been here before. We watched enough seasons of the show to know that you can't get into that. But what wasn't made up is the way they treated her at that table. And to me, that was uncalled for. And I hope that Ashley, which we know she hasn't learned because we've seen her interviews with what's her name? Crystal XO. And it doesn't seem like she's learned anything at all. So I'm not even gonna act like I think she learned something. I don't think she's learned anything. But I hope though, in a perfect world, looking back at these episodes, she realized that her first thought that made her tussle with that man was her inner spirit saying, I just don't believe he's here for me. And if you feel that way deep down, there's no reason to tussle with that man. Just let him go. And if you didn't trust Donald, let him go too. So I'm sorry, Glenn. Me and JB going back and forth. I think we done met.
No, you're fine. Look, I'm gonna let the lady. I'm gonna let you guys go because you're coming from the woman's standpoint. But from the guy standpoint, let's give some credit. Well, not credit where disrespect to what it is. Yo, dude was wrong, right? Kriston was totally wrong with the comments, the way that he was going forth and handling his business. One of the things that really picked me up, even when he gave the toast, right? He gave the toast. He talked about. He said, this is for money and the sex, dog. For money and sex. We're having a conversation. We're getting to know it. And you're throwing the sex thing out. And me and you haven't even had sex yet, right? Then now you're going to throw the sex conversation up with this girl who you just met maybe 10 minutes ago, all about 20 minutes. And we're bringing sex in this. He was fishing, right? He's fishing for where can I bring in, where I can reel in, who can I reel in with his comments and conversation. Now, even if you met her for 20 minutes ago, you're here for Ashley, right? If Ashley has somebody else at the table, it doesn't matter who she has at the table. It could have been LJ at the table, right? You're interjecting your conversation with Ashley. Hey, Ashley, how you doing? Can you introduce me to your friend? Ashley, you know, what's she here for? Because let's be honest, Stormy knows why she's there because they had to get dressed. They had to go travel down the road. They was in a car together. There was all this together, get to this restaurant. And she knew the assignment. The assignment was to ask this guy. So I'm not saying she didn't ask him. We also can be honest. He was like, he didn't have to ask. His conversation could have been like, you know what? I have a brother. He didn't have to say, if my brother looks like me, right? What's the point of that? Because, again, you're fishing to see what she's going to say, what she's going to give you back, and she's giving it back to him. Instead of, again, not asking Ashley. I understand the voiceover and stuff like that. Should Ashley stood up for herself? Heck right. Ashley should say, hold on, shorty. Redirect yourself. Let's get back to your job. Your job is to interview him. And when it went south, she should have said, hold up, bruh. Are you here for me or her? Like, which one are we doing here? Because she's not stupid. I mean, we saw it for like 10, like that segment was like 5 or 6 minutes, and we understood what was going on. She had to understand that this it didn't feel right. It didn't feel comfortable. Sometimes you can't be a passive aggressive in the moment. Sometimes you gotta hit things on the head right when it's there. Address situation. Because again, go back to your point. I see what it was making. You knew what you wouldn't have asked him 50 million questions about Zadia if you didn't get this from this guy that he may like Zadia. Your interaction with him was all about somebody else. Shows your insecurities, but it also shows that you feel that he's some type of way a player, or he's some type of way like different type of women, or he's out there a little bit. Again, the conversation she should have reeled him in, but you got two grown adults at the table who knew their assignment. His assignment was to be there to have a date with Ashley. Her assignment was to be there to evaluate him. And when they got off the subject, the adult in them should have brought themselves back together. Like, you know what? Because as a guy, you know when somebody's flirting with you. You know when somebody's giving you the questions that you know you're not supposed to. Hey, I ain't going to answer that one. If you respect Ashley. I'm not going to answer that right now. I'm not toasting anything up about sex and money while I'm having a conversation. I'm out on a date with the girl that I'm trying to be with. If you want to be with her. I'm not. You know what? The comment Coach talked earlier when we was on, the beautiful comment. Oh, she looked beautiful. You can say that many ways. You look nice. Hey, by the way, like, good meeting you. Where you from again? How do y'all know each other? You can say things. Okay, give me a little bit. You want me to know about me? I want to know about you without being flirtatious. But okay, now you here to evaluate. Okay, or Ashley, what's she here for? Why is she here? So all this can be addressed to Ashley, so Ashley can explain, so he can get some clarification what's going on. You don't have to ask her what she drinking and all this other stuff. It was too much from his standpoint and not enough. Maybe it was production that he never talked to Ashley from what we saw involved in any of this. So again, I'm not, and I'm giving Ashley some smoke too, because she, instead of walking, it's just not my nature. She should have addressed it right at the table. Or production and Ready to Love should have showed us when she did address it. Did she address it in the van on the way back, or she just let it ride? Because again, she felt more mad when Stormi wasn't there than we saw when she was there. Somewhere down the line, you have to address the issue, and that's going on in the room, and not only address it with Stormi, but address it with Kriston as well. If she keeps this dude, what does that say about her? Right? I don't know if there's a point where you can choose nobody, because we know the other dude that we haven't even talked about yet, Chris. He ain't the guy neither. So do she have to keep somebody? Because again, if you don't, let both of them go. Because this dude, how many times does this guy have to show you that he's not there for you to make a conscious decision about your own self-worth? Like, you know what? That's not him. And this is not even your real friend. So can you imagine you bringing around family members, your cousins, going to the cookout where he's doing this in your face? So can you imagine what happens when he's not around you? You worrying all day because he show you who he is. When he show you who he is, believe him. And he is a guy who is trying to get the next big thing. He don't really like her, and at all. He was probably hoping he got cut last time, but it was somebody. You know, she's more interested in him because it's fun, because she's having a good time. Not that he really wants her, or that he wants to be with her, or she really wants to be with him. It's fun. But in my opinion, she needs to cut both of them. And if her Stormi not really friends, stop talking to her, because it was disrespectful. It made her look really disrespectful in front of everybody, in front of the world, people who's watching the show. It was disrespectful to be flirting, and disrespectful to show how Ashley doesn't have that, I don't want to say fighter's mentality, but to be straightforwardness, that passive aggressiveness. Sometimes you can't. Some things you got to address where it's at. So that's my thought on that. She needed to address it. Both of them, and grown folks need to check themselves.
You know who I really think don't like Ashley? Freaking production. Cause why would they bring that daggone other man? I am so sorry. Why would they bring that man? Okay. I want to say a whole bunch of things about this man, but this is not that show for it. So I'm not. But however, why would they bring that man for Ashley? They so disrespectful, because that's now they kind of, if she has to stay with somebody, now they forcing her hand to stay with Tristan. That's what I'm start calling Tristan Thomas. Why would they do that?
Well, it's worse. It's Kriston.
I'm calling him Tristan because he's acting like Tristan Thomas right now. So that's what his name is.
He acting like a Kriston. I think Kriston is worse than Kriston. Who names their son Kriston?
But I'm just saying, why would they do her like that? Like, bring her somebody, please. Bring Donald back.
They hate her. They were testing if she would stick with Donald. They said, since you didn't want to, we can't hear you, Sean.
Yeah, it's not coming off, baby.
Yeah. But that's why she started calling Donald the next day, because she realized dude wasn't right. That's why her Donald text game started coming back.
She was running back to Donald. She never left Donald.
Right.
That Android iPhone mix up.
We got both our service. We reset our phones. We good now.
Reset the phones and start over.
Get a man a second chance.
I'm gonna be all the way wrong, and I'm gonna stay there.
Oh my God, you about to do Carnage?
I'm gonna do some Carnage. I'm gonna stay all the way wrong if that's the case. I'm gonna say I believe that production have done a number here, and I usually don't back production. And I'm gonna say this: I think production have intentionally taken a part of the conversation, which is a downtime conversation, and supplanted that as the conversation. And it's very hard to get anything out of your head, because that's the only conversation we actually see. If Stormi said and telling the truth, which I before she said anything, I thought that was the case anyway, right? I think this conversation that's being had is a downtime conversation. We're waiting on mics, whatever. You know, we're having a downside conversation. It's a bit of fun, whatever, right? Because I think our perspective changes if they add the questions that she actually asked him. I think if that one line about her saying about, hey, look, about the asking for the brother would say, you know what, Stormi is a little bit cheeky for that comment, and she shouldn't ask that question, right? And we breeze right past it if she asks questions about the situation between him and Ashley. I think we have a completely different perspective. But the whole scene is litigated with things that are pushing the idea that Ashley was done dirty in a scenario, right? And it's very hard to get that idea out of your head because everything is supplanted in that particular way. So for me personally, again, I'm gonna say it straight. Okay, I'm gonna say it straight again. I think the guy was given a bit of charm. I'm not saying I don't think he liked. I think he liked Stormi. I think he found her attractive. I'm not gonna deny that. Okay, all right. I mean, shit. I find Stormi attractive, and I find Ashley attractive. So the brother ain't doing anything that I wouldn't do. I mean, he gonna find them attractive. Okay. So if he looked to her in a particular way, I understand. But you know, for me personally, I think that scene is so edited so heavily, it pushes the ideas into your head that you have to go with that idea that this is what happened. And I'm like, I don't think that's necessarily what happened, right? Because when we start saying, okay, for instance, we say he was disrespectful, right? If we even just removing the scene where she gets up, right, it changes that whole scene completely. Because everyone's like, oh, that they were so disrespectful, they were ignoring her the whole scene. Were they? Were they not know the whole scene?
Are you saying
that's
if
what
they
we see?
Asked more, if you're saying if they would have showed more of their conversation that didn't look like that, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because we're all having this narrative that is, oh, they were ignoring her as well. Part of the disrespect, they were ignoring her, and I'm saying so it feeds into even more energy that we have towards that comment and the comment that she made about the brothers, and I know we're saying about the toast as well. We can say it's fishing. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to do it, as well. And I guess the beautiful surprise thing, I'm a bit iffy on that still. But I think it's so jumbled in a jumbled, but it's all jumbled up in a particular way, in that particular way that it forms this particular narrative that you almost can't get out of. I'm not saying that there was no flirting at all. That would be a remiss and that would be a lie. There was a little bit of flirting, you know what I mean? But I think it looks so much worse when you take out every other thing that was actually meant to be happening. So if she was asking him questions and that was actually in that scene, I think we have a completely different conversation. Would have said this. Stormy probably should have made that comment. It was a stupid comment. But now, you know what I mean? Would have said that's a stupid comment. She shouldn't have said it, and would have moved on. But because that comment now is now highlighted with the fact that it's a downtime conversation, and then we see the fact that she got up from the table, nobody went after her, and he's now that's what someone even said about the fanning himself. He's even disrespecting him by fanning himself, and it just feeds into these little things. The voiceover, and then it just adds and adds until you can't go anywhere. You're suffocated with the idea. And again, I'm not saying that there wasn't any flirting at all, but I think we have a completely different conversation about saying that Stormy's completely disrespectful. She's a Jezebel. I think we have a completely different conversation if they give us all the things that actually happened. If there was actual conversation that was actually happening where we see her asking questions to him about Ashley, we don't talk about her. She's been ignored, because it wouldn't be ignored. If you're asking the questions that you asked me to ask, you don't need to talk. Because I'm asking all the questions you got to ask. He's not ignoring you then, because then he's answering what he's supposed to have, right? So, for me, I just feel like this is very heavily edited. I think we're going to see it come up more. I think this might be addressed in the reunion. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to stay wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm going to stay on the wrong side,
Well, that would
so Coach, so my thing is that if it's heavily edited, it was Ashley acting when they get with Tamika, because she seemed highly upset, right? When it was brought up about Stormy, when she sat behind the chairs. Oh, Stormy not here. Ashley seems more upset about the whole situation. So was she not upset at the moment and it just came upset later, or was it something that was put into it because she seemed highly upset? You see what I'm saying? Was it put in later? Hey, Ashley, okay, we need you to act upset in this scene here because we're moving along. Because she did seem some type of way towards the end. Everybody else was there by the fact that what went down went down.
No, I definitely believe that Ashley felt the way she felt. I don't think. I mean, when you make comments like, that the dress situation, you make comments about you're meant to be here for me kind of situation, and it's meant to be all about me. Of course, anything that deviates from that. And I already said I saw how she handled Kriston in the last episode, and Donald. I already know you go overboard when you're handling situations how you perceive it. So I thought you was irrational with the text situation. So how do I trust your judgment on this one? You know what I'm saying to you? I know that you can act irrational when it comes to how you feel. So for me personally, I can see and go, I definitely believe she felt how she felt. I don't think that they had to ask her to do that. I definitely feel she felt how she felt, and she saw something. Maybe she saw that comment and felt like it was too much. And I can understand that, you know what I mean? So yeah, go for it, Jay. I know you want to add.
Because Ashley is highly passive in this whole thing. It was easy, like Coach said earlier, why are we not seeing as much as her face? She's eye level with both parties. However, they seem to cut her face a lot of times, even when she's smiling at the conversation that they're having. There's a lot of cutting of her face. And of course, like you said, Glenn, she is mad in this moment because she goes to producers and says something in this moment, but she doesn't say nothing to them. So I think they wanted the controversy, the conflict or whatever, so they edited in this particular manner so that we can have this little bit of drama going on in the show, because she's not actually giving it to us in real time, but she feels it. But because we can't read her mind, because she's back and forth between the two of them a lot of times, when you do see the conversation, like in the times and you catch her face, she's forever smiling. You don't really see her like kind of off put by anything that they're saying. However, she feels off put enough to tell the producers in the back. So they're going to do what their job is to do, edit it all the way up, chop it up, and make us feel what she's actually now expressing in the background. So that's what I was saying. Like for her, I feel she needs to say in that moment, like, hey, this is making me feel uncomfortable. And I get it. This is a man that is not your man. So it's a weird predicament to be in, to try to be all heavily insecure with somebody that's not really yours just yet. However, it's making me feel some type of way and I don't like it. And so we have to find some common ground where we're able to address these things and saying, hey, are you, like you said, are you here for me? It's that simple for it to come out of her mouth. Like you said earlier, Glenn, are you here for me? Are you here for her? Because it seems like it's a lot going on between you two. You know,
yeah,
like
I totally agree with that. I mean, that's the $1 million question. Like, she should have just asked the question, and if she came, because again, that's what's mind-boggling to me. Coach, you mentioned it a few minutes ago. She was so quick to go off on everybody else, right? She was able to get up in Kirsten's face earlier. She didn't have a problem when she saw Donald at the bowling alley, giving him the business, right? So why couldn't you give these two I think she gave them the business at the table, but we just not seeing it. I think because of her personality and what she has done and how forthright she has been. Because even when the vignette with Donald, she's like, I don't want anybody to treat me like that. I don't want to be okay. But this is how this dude's treating you. So when did you give him the business? What was so bad that she went to production and not say anything to them?
But you notice when she gives people the business directly, it's one-on-one. But she's passive aggressive when it's a thing, because when Zadia and Donald and Cameron was all around, it's, oh, you guys are having conversation. It'd be nice if it's the passive aggressive there. But when it's one-on-one, I can be a little bit more aggressive on how I address the situation or whatnot, as opposed to having somebody else there. She's a bit conflict avoidant. We've seen it all, even with the Zadia and Sharice situation. She's trying to stay away from as much conflict as possible, but sometimes you bring more to you when you do that, instead of just addressing some things in a respectable manner in that moment. And that's just something that she might have to learn how to do, because that's part of her boundaries. You're supposed to be my friend. Boundary. You're supposed to be dating me. Boundary. We need to have these things set. Like, y'all, it should be, I'm the wall. I'm in between both of y'all. I'm that wall. Y'all got a tennis match. Y'all got to get over this fence. So everything y'all doing should be going over my fence. So you shouldn't be just being able to touch each other. You know, like, y'all energy should not be able to be touching each other across the table if I'm sitting here. And so that, because she don't demand that respect from either party, this is what we're seeing. Hey,
So
Sean.
Hey, Sean, you're right. If Ashley addressed it at the table, then Stormy technically is a liar, because she doesn't mention any of that in her particular debrief when she says it on Facebook, right? And she actually says in her thing, and I'll show you guys what she says in her little situation here. Towards the end, she says, I'm a grown, positive woman, and I'll take this lick because they edited all of this to make it something it wasn't. I was never told how she supposedly felt until I was invited to the reunion months later and shown a clip 60 seconds before entering the reunion taping set. Now, I wonder what she means by her feelings not being revealed to her. I'm gonna assume she meant by the table that nothing was said, which, even though she addresses the fact that she had a debrief of her 20 minutes after and told her that this Kriston isn't one for her. And actually, again, Stormy, this is why I like people saying stuff, because when they say stuff, we can hold them to the fire because you said it, right? So if you listen, if you look at this part of it as well, she says, I was, yes, I was there. Sorry, I don't know, guys, can zoom it a little bit bigger. She was like, I was there for her and asked him a lot of questions, and then had a good 20-minute debrief after the shoot with her regarding why I thought he was not genuinely interested. I had to leave immediately after the film was booked. So they had a conversation after, and I think it's the second. It might be the second conversation where she says it. Let me see if I can get it for you. Where she said actually she spoke during the time as well. During that when she was letting him know. Let's see. Also, I give it energy. I want to see where she said it. So let me on brief. Okay, that's a debrief. Okay. Yeah, that's the debrief. I'll find it for you guys in a second. But yeah, so they had a conversation after. So I'm assuming if you tell me that you didn't know her feelings, then she might not have made you aware during, even after, right? And again, still, then that would mean that now if Ashley comes out and says, no, I actually told you, then Stormy B's a liar. You know what I mean? Because you said obviously that, you know, you were addressing things with her. So I'm gonna say that once she said this, it makes it a bit more easier for us to kind of address certain situations. You know what I mean? But hey ho, someone's gonna be a liar at least, or maybe not even a liar. I think the truth will probably come out of reunion in terms of what actually fully happened and was addressed. You know what I mean? Sorry, I chopped off somebody. Go for it.
Oh, Sean back, but I was gonna say I guess we just have to wait to see if Ashley responds to that and see what she says.
Go for it, Sean.
So what are we debating? Are you still on your earlier, antics about
you really know I am
Ashley accountable?
You really no, it's not. I mean, she's definitely accountable, but I don't think that. I mean, that's not necessarily the argument I was making. But I was making the same argument I made earlier on. I still don't think it was as bad as everyone made it out to be seen. But feel free.
Even with the evidence of Stormy saying that Kriston was not into her.
But we all knew that he wasn't into her.
But no, you were saying that he wasn't at fault.
No, but him not being into her is not about him being on fault. If he's not into her, we all knew he wasn't into her.
So what is the point then? You tell me so I know what to respond to.
Boy, you coming late and you ain't heard none of the conversation because you out here having people walk behind you because you have people walking behind you. You think I didn't see that?
We're not about to do this with Sean. We're not about to do this with Sean tonight.
You think I didn't see that?
Listen, I can't deal with the two of y'all. So
no.
Listen.
No.
You think I didn't see people walking behind you like ghosts? But no. No, I guess obviously people have given different opinions, right? I said I'm going to stand maybe all the way wrong, and it could be, but I'm going to stand all the way far at the end, which I said I don't even think it was that bad. I think because it's such a heavily edited scene, and because the scenes are so saturated with those key moments that are going to make it look like a certain conversation. It's a downtime conversation, right? It's a conversation that's happening in the downtime. They've already had the conversations. They didn't have free exit. They had to reshoot that scene 3 times towards the end as well. So it's just like for me, it's a very heavily saturated scene that's been edited in a particular way, curated in a particular way. And I said that comment about the brother, we all agree it shouldn't have been said. She even agrees it shouldn't have been said. And I said that, but if you lodge that in amongst her actually doing her job, where she asked him questions, well, she said she did. So we'll find out if she did or not. And her asking him questions, and let's say we had a whole minute clip of her asking questions. I can guarantee you, and they took out that part with a voiceover and the falsity of that thing where she got up and everyone's saying that she was angry. Nobody saw it. So we can't include that, right? If that scene doesn't exist, I think we have a completely different discussion. I think we say a simple word. We say, Stormy should have never said that thing, but we thank God she asked all the right questions. That's what we say. I think it changes the whole scenario. But when you start adding, especially scenes which I believe are not even accurate, then if the voiceovers at the wrong time, then I definitely feel like that is then going to, it's going to curate an idea that this was a completely disgusting conversation, and she was heavily flirting, and he's heavily flirting. I just don't think it is that. I really don't. I really don't think it's that at all. If I'm honest with you.
Gotcha.
But go for it.
So listen, I mean, whatever the dynamics of how the situation played out, at the end of the day, he don't like her, and he leveraged an opportunity to flirt with her friend because he really doesn't like her, and she needs to move on, and she needs to move forward and keep having the conversations going she's having with Donald. I think that's where she really should go with, or even the
That's
dude that
Donald.
she went on the other guy. She needs to leave
Why
Kriston
Donald?
alone.
She can't go to Donald either. You can't go
Why?
to Donald after you can't believe him that he can't text you back and he texts you and you were still
She
cussing him
was
out.
being
No,
extra
you
with
ask
that.
her.
That was an overreaction.
Just like this scene is a bit of a reaction by you guys. I don't know.
Look, listen.
Donald don't need to take her back.
She needs to circle the block. She needs to circle the block with that other teacher that she went stumbling and fumbling through the bike ride with. That's what she needs to do.
No, because he was on Zadia's dress, so she can't. do
Yeah,
that
he
with
mentioned
Listen,
he mentioned the wrong
Natalie
dress.
needs to pick her struggle. She got too much struggle. She need to pick a struggle. She got a struggle friend. She got a struggle bike ride. She got a struggle dude that's trying to get with her friend that's not really her friend.
She got a
too
struggle
many problems.
iPhone. I can't get the message.
She just need to pick one struggle, poor thing, you know. But it ain't the dude Kriston, because he don't like her. He told her when she didn't like them long nails she was rocking with. He told her right there.
Yeah.
He was like, "Listen, you got to do those nails," and she doubled down on it. So he was like, "All right, I'm gonna show you better than I could tell you."
Absolutely shocking.
I don't know
Absolutely
what to tell you.
shocking. Absolutely shocking. No, I think we're gonna probably have a clearer idea when reunion comes about the situation. Maybe even Ash might even say something before then. Maybe she'll make a comment or whatever. I should reach out to her and see if she'll tell me anything. We'll see. You know what her perspective of it is. I was a little bit baffled, like you guys, about why she made a comment to Tamika. And if Stormy is telling the truth, then sis, if you had a conversation with her 20 minutes at a time, why is Ashley now kind of dogging you out when you get to Tamika? Unless, again, it goes back to that passive-aggressive aspect where sometimes people let things sink in and they don't say anything at a time because they can't say it to your face, but they wait till you're gone and say it. And that aspect. So that could also be a part of it too. But I think some more clarity will happen in the reunion. I think we'll get more clarity in terms of what happened. I'm going to reach out to Stormy too. I need to ask her the question directly myself and be like, hey, baby, your ass was flirting. According to the 90% of my audience.
And listen, we know
no,
she
according to 90% of my
acknowledges
audience. You let me finish.
Get the hell out of here, Coach. Listen, I say if she, you know, when somebody acknowledges it, you know, there's even a little bit more to follow, right? So
that's fair.
She acknowledged it. You know what I'm saying? So you know that there was something to her flirting a little bit, and that was what it was.
I hear you.
You know.
Any other final thoughts on this situation, guys? On Ashley and Storms and thingy? No final thoughts. Well, I would say Sean to do the honors, but he wasn't here for the majority of the time because he had ghosts walking past, so he won't be able to do anything for us. So I'm gonna take his job. No, actually, Jay is debutant. So Jay, yes, you are debutant, Jay. Wow. Oh, you just gonna dip off?
I'm gonna get up and walk away like Ashley. Abruptly, let me grab
and
my
we
thing.
won't watch. We won't look either. We won't be looking at you. So just keep walking.
We'll break your neck, Sean.
Let me grab my thing.
I will not be breaking my neck because Kojo says don't break your neck when you walk. So there you go.
Don't break your neck.
Let me grab my things.
So what? The live is over?
Yes, Nick.
Yeah, that was done.
Oh,
This show doesn't have much meat in it.
Don't talk about is it over?
This shouldn't have much meat in it, so there ain't much to really discuss on the show. Once you discuss the people, you discuss the people. The meat's not very heavy in the show, so
and nobody was picked.
Pause.
Right, please.
So yeah, pause. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a bit suspect. Sorry, guys.
Very much.
That's heavy editing. That's heavy editing there, guys. That's heavy editing.
Another person was picked this week, so we don't know who with who and nothing. We don't know nothing.
Nah, nobody got sent home. No keepers.
No, that's a no.
Yeah, so we don't know crap. We
Yeah,
don't know the cliffhanger for the 5th week in a row.
Right.
That's right. Sean, they said they want to see your outfit, so give them a little spin, please. They want to see your
Let that
outfit.
be the benediction.
They want to see my fit.
They want to see
Yeah,
Big
they wanna see
Daddy.
your fit.
They want
They
to
wanna
see Big
see-
Daddy. Come
Tell
on,
them
Big
to come see
Daddy.
me. Coach, cut the crap. Cut the crap.
give him the spin, bro. Stand up, man.
Daddy.
I don't
Stand
have
up and give them the
pants.
fit.
I don't have any
Huh?
pants.
You
You're
know,
lying. You're lying. I know you got
pause,
some.
Shine. Pause.
Wow, not him freezing.
Because you got men walking in the background talking about you ain't got no pants on. You better put them.
You got some pants on. Give them a tour.
Tell
Give them
them
a
to
spin,
find
Sean.
me on IG and you will
in
see my
favorite
full
color,
outfit.
Shine. Come on, Shine. Let us see.
Oh,
know
you
my
like the
favorite
Give 'em a
green?
little
That's
spin.
right.
color.
I
You know
work
the
for you,
green,
Jay.
baby. You
I
know
work
I
for
love
you,
the
baby
green.
girl.
They want to see you, bro. Don't be shy.
Put some green hearts in the chat if y'all want to see Shine.
Y'all are wild. Kojo, get me
What's
off
your
the
cash
screen
app?
right now.
What's your cash app? What's your cash app?
That cash out for Shine.
What's your cash
At
app? Sean Davis 120.
120.
Ladies, you like what you're seeing? I want to see you put your money where your mouth is.
Cash
Send him a
Shine
cash app.
Davis.
Send Sean a cash app. You like the outfit he's wearing?
Uh,
He is single. Send him a cash app. I wouldn't do it if he was
Kojo,
married
you
because it'd
are
be
wild
awkward.
right now.
Send him
yeah,
a cash
my-
app,
wrong.
okay?
Hold on, let me erase that.
All right. If you feel I was wrong about the Ashley situation, send him a cash app, okay? All right.
Guys are
If you
out
believe
of
I was wrong
control
about the
right
Ashley
now.
situation, send him a cash app. It is Sean Davis 120. Send him a cash app. Send him a cash app. Don't let him be without. Send him a cash app, okay,
Oh,
ladies?
they got them green
like the
hearts
fit.
going, Shine. Let's go, baby.
got the green
wanna
hearts.
Oh,
see
you
Look
got
at
a
that.
lot of fans out there,
Green
dog.
hearts.
they love
Pimping
you,
them
Sean.
out.
They love you.
Baby.
Kojo, cut
We
this.
pimping them
cut the
correctly.
shit. Cut the shit right now.
Oh, baby, it's a lot of green
That's
hearts.
right.
Let's
That's
go.
I'm gonna get an OnlyFans page next.
Let's
Huh?
go. Let's go. Sell it on the black market, baby. Let's go.
Don't be afraid, my
man.
brother. Don't be afraid, okay?
Tomorrow,
All right.
we got to save something. We're doing a live tomorrow, right? So
We are doing
I'll
live
be
tomorrow.
prepared. Yeah, I'll be
Be
prepared
prepared.
with a full. We'll do the full Monty tomorrow. How about that?
Y'all ready to cut up tomorrow? Y'all like this video? Y'all subscribe to this channel because we cutting up tomorrow. Y'all about to really find out how we really be.
Yeah, they wanted to know what happened in Jamaica. We're gonna have to give you the light version. We cannot give you the full version. So we have to give the light version because we can't give you the full version. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially not on my end anyway. But yeah, definitely not on my end. I can't tell that tale. But listen, audience members, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an amazing conversation. I'm not even going to try and do a wrap up like Sean does. I'll leave that for the Deacon when his time is back. But you know, we appreciate the conversation. Glenn, thank you for joining us. We'd love to have you again next week if
sir.
you're around and you're about. And have that conversation as well. But yeah, tomorrow, guys, we are going to be having a lovely not members only, but a lovely conversation with myself, Jay, Sean, Seaway. You're gonna find out a little bit more about the panelists, how we began, where we're at now, a little bit about that Jamaica trip, just a little dish and dash. You know what I mean? You lot saw some of the pictures if you followed us as well. You know, and you know, we want to be able to have some good conversations as well. And let you know some life updates about where each of us are as well. So it's going to be a really good conversation tomorrow. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys. What time did we agree? I think we agreed at 6 p.m. Was it 6 p.m. yesterday? No, wait, Jay, what time you said you can't do?
No,
You have to do later.
It has to be like 8 p.m. EST.
8 p.m. That was it.
Oh no.
You couldn't do.
No, I can do 6. I can do 6 if you want to.
You can do 6?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So okay, maybe it's 6 p.m. then I was thinking of. So we're gonna have our I see where it said our panel appreciation tomorrow.
Yeah, work on time though.
Yeah, we're gonna get you early. Don't worry, we ain't gonna let you go out too late. So listen, y'all heard Seaway, okay? You disagree with her, she's gonna block you. I can't do anything about that. She's also administrator. So you mess with Seaway, you know what happens. You get black.
she's saying 8 CST. So what's that? 9 EST?
Yeah, that's 9 CST. That's a bit late, isn't it? 9 EST. That is hella late. We did not agree to 9 EST.
I mean, I can even do what's that? 7 EST.
Okay, 7, yeah, because we need to go to bed, guys.
Yeah,
Monday's tomorrow and after that. Yeah, Monday's
so
after that.
That'll be for sure. I'm off of work at that time. So
okay, so 7 EST then, because then we need to get, y'all need to get to work.
No, wait, we need to tell Sean a different time because Sean, we doing 3.
Yeah, Sean, yours is 6 p.m. EST. At this time 5, because you becoming 2 hours late because you're out here in these streets.
No. I'll be good. I have no plans tomorrow. I'll be homebound and on time.
Yeah.
Sean gonna be knocked out tomorrow from tonight.
Oh, that's right. We are about to go out again. So oops. But I'll be on time. That's more than enough time. It's in the evening.
You for the streets tonight, Sean?
Abby can be my proxy.
All right.
I'm done with your ass.
Abby gonna be over there like this next to you.
She'll shut the whole live down.
All right, time's up.
All righty. All right, listen, audience members, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. EST. We go. All right, listen, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And we appreciate y'all. Stay locked, stay loaded. And let me leave you with my favorite meme so far at the time.
That's Ashley.
Yep. That's Stormy telling her off. Look, let me say one more time. She's like, listen, that man ain't nothing for you. He ain't good for you. I know I flirted, but he ain't nothing but shit. Okay. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you again very soon. Much appreciated.